If you're in early stage business, year one, year two of your journey, this message is for you. And I was thinking today about how I'm organizing my time, how I'm planning and structuring, looking at the calendar, how I'm so much better at weaving in the balance of ensuring that there's time in there for me, that there is space for creative play, that there is room for recovery, room for unplanned, unforeseen circumstances, that there's buffer space around meetings and activities, just that what is now a kind of living calendar that moves and morphs and grows with me, but is responsive to me, because I'm feeling that I'm much more, I'm friends with the calendar. And that comes with the reminder that it's about giving yourself permission to put things in there that are maybe seem not directly related to a work task, but ultimately might be supportive to you being able to achieve that work task, because it's something that's supporting your well-being, it's something that's supporting your energy management, it's something that's nourishing your social relationships or your creative practice, or just time to reflect and track, and kind of check in with yourself about your direction of travel and whether the things that you are actually doing are taking you to where you want to go. And I'm mentioning all that from the grounded perspective of where I am now and thinking back to early 2020, because certainly when I was trying to kind of transition into, okay, yes, this is definitely happening, and I'm trying to create a business and build digital infrastructure and actually do it and actually run with that idea and see where we go. So that was happening, in that kind of late 2019 into early 2020 period. And then at that time, of course, there was an emphasis on the relationship to digital space in quite a different way, because of COVID, one factor, but also whatever stage I was at that point with trying to do everything, trying to fit it all in, trying to be everything and everywhere at once, and just, kind of throwing yourself at opportunities that feel like they might be aligned or they might be helpful, especially, things that were free as well. There's always that drive, if you don't have startup capital and you are trying to do things on a shoestring, but that actually some of that motivation coming from that place meant that the discernment about, is this the right thing to engage with at this time, based on the priority of what I actually need to be doing, and that clarity, that strategic clarity, perhaps, is not so well tuned at that point, because you're kind of still very much in that stage of like, yeah, sniffing out the territory and seeing, what is this all about and what's actually involved. And I think I could probably speak to this and say that this is a relatively common experience for people at that early stage of suddenly the magnitude of what you are undertaking beginning to reveal itself. And yeah, when you're getting stuck into a new project, there can be that tendency to try and just, grab everything and do everything. So it's a nice reflection to be at this particular stage and feeling like there is a bit more discernment there, which just so happens to correlate with, planning out really, how am I spending my time and what is the purpose of engaging with this? Like, where is this going to take me? So just to reinforce that it can take time to get to that place, of feeling more assured in your strategic steps and feeling and starting to trust your instinct, that you know that prioritization is as much about choosing the right thing as it is letting certain opportunities, I say pass you by, but, choosing to let certain things go to allow the things that really need to come into focus, to have that space for you to be able to give it your best shot. So don't give up. Yeah, I think it can be quite a vulnerable time, those first few years. And yeah, there are lots of challenges ahead. I know for sure, from the vantage point that I'm at now, I have a much kind of more accepting reality check about the kind of long and winding pathway of it. But I think I don't feel intimidated by that at this point. It's just kind of like, okay, yeah, long haul, long term outlook, and therefore there is even more of a sort of confirmation around, well, if the pathway really is that long, for the length of your career, assuming that you might be working, until you feel like you want to scale back, which is quite a few years ahead yet, that then it becomes essential to weave in the lifestyle choices and things into the routine that are supportive of your energy and actually mean that you have the reflexive capacity to continue to gently push and stretch and move, out of the territory of comfort zone, but that there is breathing space around things as well, so that you have that opportunity to integrate and to, just give yourself a bit of time to kind of, brush the dust off yourself and kind of be like, okay, right, maybe that didn't work, right, okay, what's the next thing? So that kind of bounce back and that cultivation of resilience and that sense of confidence about self-resourcing is actually being backed up and supported by nourishing things that pour into you as well, rather than just doing without recharging yourself. So those are just a few things that I kind of felt they were just bubbling to the surface, and I felt like they might be um, nice to share with the intention that this would reach someone at that kind of early stage that might be having, yeah, just doubts or feeling like this is overwhelming. Um, the sense that you're constantly busy and that, yeah, your mind is just on the go all the time. Yeah, that is part of it for sure. But I think it's also then about, you know, that process becomes a mirror of your internal workings and reveals to you so much about um, how you respond to things, how well you let things go, and that sense of knowing when to pause, when to switch off, when to pick up a task when you don't feel like it. It's all yeah, giving you information and indication about your internal landscape. So yeah, it can be it can be a lot to be confronted with sometimes when you're always engaging with things that are kind of new and unfamiliar, and taking you into learning processes that, you know, you walk through one door and suddenly 25 more doors open. But it is a long term process, so don't forget that, and don't be discouraged in the early stages when things feel like that there's a lot going on. Do reach out, do seek support, and do speak to your peers. And you never know, they might just be experiencing the very same thing as you, and they might even have some tools, resources, or strategies that might help you. So those conversations are really important as well.